What's up, buddies? Joe. Cheers. Oh yeah, thumbnail pick. Alright, so this is a response video to my buddy Jeremy here. Just so you guys know, sometimes YouTube doesn't show me that notification that you guys are sending me a comment, right, for whatever reason, right? So if I don't respond to you, just know that. I do respond to you guys. I like being in contact with you guys. So if for whatever reason you guys make a comment and if I don't get back to you for some reason, it's mainly YouTube doesn't give me a notification, right? Something that I guess I'm doing now, like during the last week of the month, is that I'm going through the comment section to see if I missed anything, right? And that's how I found this comment from Jeremy. He basically asked me a question about he really would like to hear a breakdown on how exactly that sort of unlit grayish color of raw footage actually delivers more color information from an editing perspective. That just isn't clicking for me, right? Yeah, okay, I know what he's talking about. Usually cameras, there's a setting that you can set it to film and it's called a flat. So there's a reason for that, and it looks pretty grayish, like it's not very saturated, and there's a reason for that, right? So I'm gonna explain to you the best I can, because I'm not a professional colorist, but I'm gonna give you an idea why you want to film like that if you want to have more control of color information, right? In post, right? So let's get to that. All right, so before we go, let's just say you go to Google, you can actually search for, like, say, Blackmagic raw footage download, and it should be like the first result here. Click on it. Now I already download this one. It's a Blackmagic Pocket Camera Gallery. The footage from the Blackmagic cameras, obviously they work very well with DaVinci Resolve, right? So if you're shooting with a Blackmagic camera, playback should not be an issue, right? Because they play together very good, right? So you don't have to worry about creating proxies or anything like that. Something to keep in mind is, like, when you're working with raw footage, especially when you're doing like color correcting, and especially on major like final renders for movies, you want to work with the raws, because if you're working off the proxies, the color information is not going to be the same, right? So that's something you want to keep in mind when you're doing, like, say, an actual movie and you're working with color information. You want to work with the raws, right? All right, so I want to like create a timeline matching like the dimensions of the footage here. So I'm gonna right click, create new timeline. So using selected clips, use project settings. No, because I usually mess around with my ultra wide settings. I don't mess with that. Format, I'm gonna just match this, right? So let's go to say it's 6144, pretty fucking insane. Frame rate is 25, just want to match it, make sure everything is cool, and create. Boom. All right, so that should be it. Now, as you can see, it looks dead, right? Now, if we go back to the color information, so this is why it's called flat. Let me remove the camera. And yes, fucking activate Windows. Yeah. Anyways, this is why it's referred to as flat. So basically, all the color information is basically leveled out, right? So what happens here is that, as you can see, the image here, it looks, as I say, flat, because it was purposely filmed in that manner. But as you can see, you still have your reds, blues, and greens, right? Let's switch this to parade. So there's still information inside of this image that looks flat, right? So the reason why they do it in this manner is because, say, like, now if you want to increase more reds, you can actually adjust how much reds you want to increase, right? So if I grab the middles, you can see how much red that is. That's a lot, right? Same thing, you can reduce how much red you want to reduce, right? So if you want to crank this up, or say if you go to overall, you can like crank this up a bit. We can do a bit more contrast. You want to do something like that. Start fucking around with the red. Curves are kind of you gotta be careful with the curves, right? Because like it can be a little too much on how you do things. So you basically want to try to get more of a golden color, right? So usually you want to mess with the red and greens to do that, right? Basically, if we get to the lights, you can actually probably mess around with this a bit more until you get somewhat of a more color information. Still increase the contrast a bit more, just to make it look. You can probably adjust the temp a bit more. See, that looks pretty cool as is. So you can see it went from flat, right? So that's basically, see all the information, it looks flat as shit. It doesn't look good, right? So by just messing around with this information here, I was able to bring back more of a metallic look, right? So that's the idea of why cameras shoot flat. It's basically, it's because, like, if you were to shoot the camera raw to like close to this, what happens is that it's almost like baked in there, like the color information, and like then instead of you increasing however much information you want, so in this case, if I want to like add more red for whatever reason to like the shadows. Now I'm able to just do that here, right? I have more environment to do it myself, or I can reduce it, right? To more blue, and actually that looks a lot cooler, right? Look at that, right? So depending on what you want to do, so it gives you more a chance to like add or reduce however much you want when the footage is shot flat like this. So you have all the space here to increase it, right? So that's basically the reason why I shot flat like that. I mean, I actually like this look, right? I went from like this, see how flat it is, and like boom, now being like this like gritty, dark, you know, metallic look, cold looking, right? It's pretty cool. So you know, you have plenty of room to mess with it, right? You can, if you want, I can make it darker. I can crush the blacks a bit more. I can increase the mids a bit more, and then maybe make the highlights brighter if I want. You know, if I want to add a little more red and green to make it more gold, reduce the blues a bit. So you know, there you go. See what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically the idea why the footage is shot like that. It gives you more space to like adjust the color however you need, however you see fit, right? So that's mainly it. All right, I hope that video helps you out, buddy. That's as much as I know. Yeah, that's something I personally want to improve on, is basically color correcting, right? There's times where I do want to push pause like footage like a little bit more visually wise, so that's something I want to learn. Now they have like you know, DaVinci, I want to definitely learn how to improve like the image quality big time. Just to improve my skills, because you know, that's what I like to do, right? So anyways, that's what I got for you. If the video helped you out, there's some QR codes to help me buy a coffee if you want. If you guys can, no worries, appreciate it either way. So just leave a like and comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me for a bit. Take care and peace.